Yo, boys, this is a completely different style of video than you usually used to seeing from me, but I just had such a massive wave of inspiration that I just had to press record and start chatting pretty much. So the thing is that I'm currently doing some maths for the month since it's last day of February, calculating my team's commissions and shit, and while doing so, obviously I realized how incredible the month was, and I just realized exactly what helped me scale my clients' coaching businesses or even one agency, marketing agency, to 10x compared to where they were before I hopped in with my team of killer setters on a commission basis, of course. So, if you don't want to 10x your business the same way, you can just leave the video. I don't care. I mean, I wouldn't even be shocked if you did, because I'm sure you're doing incredible already. In fact, I think you're one of the best coaches or agency owners on the market already, because I know that these sorts of people are usually watching my videos. But yeah, that's one thing that I've realized that helped me 10x my client's business. And the thing is that everyone thinks that the key to building a profitable business is in constant grind and hard work for like 16, 17 hours or whatever. And don't get me wrong, that's an incredible attitude, but that's not the most important thing, I would say, when it comes to building a profitable business. Because let me ask you, what was the main reason you started your business in the first place? Because with my personal experience, one of my personal reasons was to avoid being a slave to your boss in your 9 to 5, because you felt like you're destined for way more than just, like people like to say, matrix type of job. And I understand you, because like I've said, I'm literally the same, but I realized that there's one, I would say, a rabbit hole that most of the business owners don't realize they're even falling into, and it's about leverage. Now, pay attention, please. I broke that leverage into three different things. Savage setter, obviously, the first one. And when I say savage setter, I don't mean just some random setter, that you feel can do the job, because realistically, without the proper guidance, without these 4 or 5 calls every single week that the killer manager is usually providing, tracking the data, tracking the KPIs, tracking the leads in the CRM as well, you need someone leading from the front, I would say. You can't make it work. Then there's a second, it's outsourced client acquisition process. And third, it's dialed offer, of course. Dialed offer. Without dialed offer, you can't move forward, because you'll just get flushed out of the market due to all these other people having a way better offer. Because realistically, I've realized that pretty much all the offers are the same. Let's be real. All the offers are the same, but the difference is in how you stand out from the crowd, I would say. But yeah, the reason I'm saying all of this is because I realized that 99.9% of these business owners become the slaves of their own business, even if they're making decent amount of money, I would say. Which brings me back to the initial thing that I said about the reason of starting your own business and starting my own business as well in the first place, and it was to avoid being a slave. Do you remember? Avoid being a slave in the 9 to 5. So if you want to avoid being a slave in your 9 to 5, why would you be a slave to your own business? That's kind of my philosophy. And I generally believe that time is a way more valuable asset than any amount of cash in the world. Because realistically, cash is it's a relative thing, I would say, because here in Europe you're pretty much scraping by, making the ends meet month from the month with like 2k. Let's say you're making 2k euros or whatever. Whereas in Thailand, I was living like a king for like 1k euros a month. you know, I spent in 20 days of me being in Thailand, I spent like maybe 700 euros, excluding obviously the flight and accommodation, on just living. And I genuinely lived like a king. I was having steaks every now and then. I was smoking cigars like crazy. We were going for a bar for cocktails on the beach in like 5-star type of thing. And that's why I'm saying that the money is such a relative topic. And that's exactly why you want to buy your time back. Do you get me? And that's why I believe that time is way more valuable than any amount of cash in the world. Because also, after talking and listening to a bunch of multimillionaires on their podcasts or in the DMs even, I found out that most of them share this same advice in getting to their level. If you're making 10 20k a month, you're obviously not a millionaire. So if you want to excel and take that leap, get to their level, you just need to delegate the workload, because that's exactly what they said. These are not my words, because obviously I'm not a millionaire. If you want to be a wealthy person, you need to listen to wealthy people. That's pretty damn logical if you ask me. But not only delegate workload, I want to say that, in other words, you need to find someone who can replicate your exact process without you actually needing to babysit that person, or the sales team, whatever, you know. And on to the first one, obviously, when it comes to the savage setter, my philosophy about the leverage thing I mentioned earlier. The most recent business I hopped in had a setter already, and to no one's surprise, he was super shitty guy. He just didn't know all those processes and stuff. But I brought mine setter, and we just started analyzing all the processes. We just started changing it all, I would say. So the fundamental thing of all of these that I'm chatting shit about is to personalize every single DM, because that's literally where all the magic happens, in the DMs. You get me? And the thing is that I saw so many and so many of these different setters personalizing the DMs, generically, I would say. But there's a whole another level of that personalization part that I'm talking about. You need to personalize it even more, Obviously, unless you want to stay broke like all these other coaches or agency owners in the industry, you can just do it however you want, But I'm just telling you, because I partnered with some insane 6 and 7 figure businesses already, and I was curious, like, how the hell were they running their business before I even hopped in? You get me? But yeah, like I've said, I saw so many geeky setters personalizing it generically. But yeah, when it comes to the personalization, instead of saying these obvious things such as, oh, your agency helping fitness coaches get more clients is so good, then asking a question, blah 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 blah, that's just not the way. You need to personalize it so much to the point where your prospect is feeling so comfortable in your environment. And actually, here on my Mac, you can realize that I've been constantly looking at it, is the equation I made, because when it comes to the personalization part, you need to make it feel the convo. You need to make the convo feel almost like you and the prospect talking is just the talk between two friends, like you talking to one of your mates, that you met in a bar or whatever. Because Jeremy Lee Minor said that, quote, word for word, what he said is, best sales conversations don't even feel like sales whatsoever, and to get back on this equation that I wrote down, I know it's just a bro science to you probably, but yeah, to be fair, that's what my whole brand is about, setter science, But it goes like this: once you successfully make your prospect feel comfortable in your environment, it will lead them to being more open, which then helps you have more info to work with, and casually then navigate the conversation in the desired way, which ultimately makes it inevitable for you to stand out from the crowd. And there, I want to emphasize on two things. First is casually, you get me? And second is have more info to work with. So, what does having more info to work with actually means? It means that every single message that your prospect sends to you has a meaning behind it. Do you get me? All the messages they send have a meaning, and you are the one who needs to actually analyze what the hell do those messages even mean. So if you're talking about X topic, you just want to dive deeper into X topic. So if you don't your prospect feel comfortable in your environment, he's not going to share any info that you will later down the line be able to dive into, if that makes sense. And then onto this casual topic, you obviously want to be casual. Like I've said, you need to be talking with them like you would talk with one of your friends, and it's just inevitable for yourself to, I would say it's inevitable to make yourself stand out Because realistically, especially if you're in a B2B space, there are thousands and thousands of different messages that we all get, and most of them are just copy pasted. So if you make yourself stand out, even though they know that ultimately you're gonna try to sell them something, they don't care because you're the guy. I mean, that's my belief. Not my belief, but that's how I move in this entrepreneurial space, in my entrepreneurial journey. If I can see someone like being able to help me with scaling my business, let's say, I will be interested, regardless of what he says. I mean, the more straightforward he is, the more straight to the point he is, the more interested I will be. So let's say someone comes to me with, I don't know, a proposal on how to scale a coaching business or an agency to 100K a month. I will be interested. But if he starts talking shit and trying to lure me in with these, how long have you been struggling with it? How long have you been trying to fix that? I will stop being interested because the guy is just a sleazy salesman trying to sell me something for the sake of selling instead of genuinely helping me. And it tells you enough that even Indian editors are asking these types of questions nowadays. Nowadays, questions about goals, struggles, desires, like I've said, how long have you been trying to do that? What's your next, or what's your end of the year goal, whatever, any other shit like that, it just doesn't work because the purpose of those questions is obviously to make your prospect open up, but it actually does the opposite. It makes them defensive, because like I've said, everyone is using it, and I know that the basic principle of the sales game is to actively listen because people like to talk about themselves. But if you want to make them talk about themselves, you can't be asking those generic silly questions, and this is a whole another strategy that me and my current clients that I'm working with and the clients that I will be partnering with in the near future, this is gonna be approach that we're gonna be taking in order to make our prospects just open up to us, I would say. So it goes, I mean, it's related to feeding their ego, making them talk about themselves more than they would talk about themselves if you ask them those questions. I hope that makes sense. You just have to feed your prospects egos instead. For example, I'm sure you're the best guy already. I'm sure you don't even need me. Just in case you ever need some of these services, I'd like to put myself on the map. Here you can keep me in your back pocket, whatever. Something super super casual. Obviously, as long as it works and as long as it makes them talk about themselves, you're good to go. And then if you combine it with another formula that I've kind of came up with, I mean, not only me and my killer setters, of course, are using as well. It goes like open-ended question plus word feel. Obviously, feel, because people buy off of their emotions, not of their logic. And by using what do you feel, how do you feel, whatever, you're literally making your prospect stop thinking logically, plus X thing related to the topic that you talked about. This is literally how our entire DM process is looking like, I would say. Those are the few fundamental things that our DM processes are based on. And then after you use it, you'll generally see an immediate increase in the amount of calls booked. Not some random shitty calls booked, but some calls that are actually going to buy. Because with my setter Jamie, it's exactly 60 days ago when he got into his DM setting experience journey. I mean, so before that, before 1st of January 2025, he never sent a single DM to the prospect. He was all about cold calling and I wouldn't say even closing because he was just cold calling people for real estate. And now he's booking like around 70 or 80 calls per month, averaging 3 calls a day, I would say. Just yesterday he booked 6 calls, simply because of this approach that we're constantly improving. All in all, what I want to say is that these current methods are just not working. They're just outdated and you have to move forward if you genuinely want to keep being at that top 0.1% level that I generally feel you are. Because every single day we have thousands and thousands of new coaches and agency owners coming into this space. And to be fair, you can just find that out by looking into your DM requests, because most of those people that are reaching out to us are new and they just don't know the game. So they're just following like sheep. They're following the outdated principles, which is exactly why these things don't work. It just goes round and round. It's a never ending circle, I would say. And to be fair, once again, I'm just going to repeat myself and say that that's exactly why you need to optimize your game and be up to level. Just constantly be improving, you know? And the thing is that, yeah, luckily for you, you're here on time because, wait a sec, I'm not even on 90 subscribers yet, I think. You know, oh yeah, I'm on 87 subscribers. So you're seeing this on the right time, I would say, you know. But anyways, make sure to have a leverage with your business. Those couple of things that we discussed, you know, Savage Setter that will convert all those convos to the interested, ready to buy leads. Then dialed offer, because you need to constantly deliver the results. In that dialed offer, you need to constantly deliver the results and make even more people interested in kind of reaching the same results and wanting to get coached or served by you, whatever. And at the end, obviously, there is an outsourced client acquisition system where you can constantly attract new eyeballs to your business, you know. And the key here, the key word in what I said just about outsourced client acquisition system is system. To bring back the topic of the beginning of this video, you need a system where you don't have to be there. You need a system that can work with or without you. You know, you just need to, I mean, I know it's kind of a hard thing to say, but you definitely need to replicate yourself from the business. And that should be your main goal. Just buying your time back again. You know, you just need to build that system where you constantly attract those new eyeballs with or without you, because that's how you make sure that every single aspect of your business is ultimately scalable. Because to be fair, I worked with a lot of businesses that, you know, were either about coaching or agencies or whatever. And the thing with them was that they could only accept like 4 or 5 clients a month, which is not good, because not only does that make it unprofitable for me and the setter, which is obviously the reason why I even stopped working, but also it does make it profitable for a business owner, because he's literally, like I've said, a slave to his business. He's working his ass off without actually being able to make more than 20-30K a month. Obviously, you can raise prices, but that decreases the number of clients, and you know, it's super hard to kind of justify your systems if you can't work with the same with the, I would say, with more than 10ish 15ish clients at the same time, because the people will think, the new prospects will think that you're just a beginner. Like, oh, how many clients are you working with? Oh, with 3 only at the moment, but you know, it's only because I can't accept more. That's a bunch of crap, you know, and no one is buying into those sales strategies anymore, even if they are true, I would say. So yeah, all in all, that be it. Me just brainstorming and yapping for like 10-15 minutes. But yeah, thanks for watching until the end, because if you want to talk more about something I maybe forgot to mention here, feel free to comment, as it helps me just tailor my next videos and share even more value with you guys. So later down the line, once it actually makes sense for us both to work together, we can do so. You know, we can partner and start delegating your workload on a commission basis. Because like I've said in the multiple videos already, I will never sell you on any 15 grand coaching program, because to be fair, I don't even run any. You know, I make my money off of the revenue share. I'm just here to give out the free value, you know, because I want to attract more clients to my business. Like I've said, I train, place, and manage sales teams of 6 and 7 figure businesses. And the more money I help them make, the more money I make for myself, you know, pay as you profit type of thing, you know. So yeah, like I said, I'm just growing continually, trying to grow my company, trying to grow other businesses as well. So yeah, my goal is to make cash for all of them in less time. So yeah, if you're not currently in the position making 6 figures where you feel we can delegate the workload, like I said, subscribe if you want so you can get there. If not, cheers, I appreciate you for staying this long anyways. And yeah, like the video if you liked it. If not, still don't care, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep grinding and see you.